Digging around this wax drawer. I never know what to melt in the wax closet, to be honest. It smells so dang good in here. I don't need to melt anything. I'm currently in my rainbow melts box thinking, no, I want to save those for later. Anybody else hoard rainbow melts like I do? I just can't get enough of that wax. Oh my goodness, there's 5 people on a live chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Friday night. I feel so blessed. 6. That's fantastic. What's shaking? Where are you guys from? Comment in the box. Hopefully it's working. Hopefully. I apologize if there's background noise. I forgot we had family coming in from Toronto this weekend, but it is it's good. Ella's going to be loud during this, but at least, hey girl, Nashville, Tennessee. Wow. I've always wanted to go to Nashville. Every one of my friends has been to Nashville and has the best time there. Why have I never been to Nashville? Thank you. It has been a wild week, that's for sure. I'll also admit I haven't slept in 2 days because I was super pumped to get my orders out. Everything, all of the orders up until this past Monday shipped out today. So we are keeping on schedule with the 10-day turnaround time, which is great because right now we are RTS. I haven't quite worked out the kinks of pre-orders and stuff like that yet. I'm hoping, famous last words, to stay ahead of the game and maintain a consistent RTS inventory. Yeah, I'm not quite ready yet to do a pre-order, if that makes sense. I personally got into a discussion with Danielle about this the other day. I said, I haven't witnessed too many other people launch a wax company from the ground up. My diehard waxies in here who have been in the indie vendor game longer than I have, you guys could probably teach me about what other vendors have done. I just kind of did it my own way. I didn't necessarily model it after anything. I just took a business principle that I thought would work, and with the advice of my consultant, we just planned step by step, and so far so good. But I've never really witnessed another indie vendor wax company launch from the ground up. Do you guys know, like, do brand new vendors start with pre-orders? What's the turnaround time like if you're starting right off the hop? And I don't know, I'm not throwing any shade, but I'm like, how would I ask customers to pre-order from me if you've never even tried my wax yet? How would you know if you're going to like it? Do you know what I mean? So I thought it would be best to start with an RTS, and I personally like the RTS system. That's my comfort zone. Who knows? Maybe eventually, if all goes well, I could do things like pre-orders and stuff. But for right now, I know that this is working. So we're just going to keep on with that for the time being. But you never know. We'll see where it goes. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, this is, moms will know. It doesn't matter how many family members are in this house. When you're like, hey guys, I'm busy right now. Can you watch the toddler? Ella's at the door going, Mom, there's 5 adults out there. Can somebody step up? No. But, Genevieve, if you're just tuning in, girl, your order went out today because you were at the Monday schedule. So everybody who's ordered before Monday, it goes out. Cure time. Yes, there is a cure time. as you guys all know, scent's kind of subjective, right? So I thought that I'd have this grand idea and have a test pool of 8 people. I chose 8 people who have very different tastes, who were melting all different things, um, just so I could get a little bit of, I don't know, sense from a variety of people. No, girl, thank you. Thank you so much. I was so excited. And you guys, when your names, because some of you guys go by aliases, but when I recognized your names from my YouTube channel, my heart was melting this past week. Every time you guys placed an order, I was like, yes, that's my waxies. They're helping a girl out. So that was amazing. Thank you. With the cure time, yes, I got mixed results from my testers, to be perfectly honest. Some of them are melting it right away right at the 2-week cure time, and they said it works awesome. Are any of my testers in the room by chance? Amber, now would be a great time for you to chime in. Tell them what you thought. Some of them would melt them right away. I think it's all scent subjective. And I'm going to go over that in the wax or the diary relics that I've filmed. To be honest, everything I thought I knew about wax, threw it out the window. Threw it out the window. Doesn't even apply. And I tested everything. Ella After is a blend. It's a proprietary blend of like a really hard pillar soy, as well as a little bit of coconut wax. And I go through that in the videos. Soy, let me see if I can find one here. So this is a company from Regina, Saskatchewan. My girls send me this all the time. And I had testers that turned out like this. This is just a pure base soy. And I don't want to ruin this clam, but when you crack it out of a clam shell, can you guys get a load of that? It breaks. And this is what my testers were doing. Look at that. I mean, I love this brand. I do. Don't get me wrong. This comes all the way from Regina, Saskatchewan to me, from my girls, Cindy and Marissa. I do. I don't mind this, but me personally, I didn't want to sell it like this. Again, it's just a personal preference. I don't mind it, but I know that if I sent customers something like this, this could be enough to turn people off. Scent's great. It works great. It throws great. I find this pure soy, just straight soy, takes a very long time to cure. And the texture is weird. I had other testers that were almost like, they're brittle like that, but they would also get really gritty and sandy. And I didn't like the texture. And no offense, no shade, waxies, but we all know we're some pretty picky bitches. So I was like, what if people don't like that? I wouldn't like that. What if people don't like opening up a clamshell and having it fall all over them? Like, that could be hit or miss for some people. One order like that, and I know for a fact that that would turn off at least a good 10 to 15% of customers. They'd be like, nah, I don't want to order that. It's too messy. It's not worth it. How do you clean up after it? How do you get it back in the clamshell when it's all a bitty disaster? I don't care. It smells delicious. It doesn't bother me. But I just couldn't market something like this. So when I made my proprietary blend, I put coconut wax in it. Coconut wax is commonly used for body candles. I've never made one. It's really difficult to work with. Way too much coconut wax stinks. You guys will see that in a video too. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why everything was running so smoothly. I had just bumped up the soy a little, or not the soy. I just bumped up the coconut wax just a smidge, or by my calculation, so I thought. I could not for the life of me figure out why all of a sudden at the 3-month mark, this batch of testers stunk. So I went to my supplier, drove all the way there, and it's far. I took my stuff in and I was like, what is this? Is this like a bad batch of wax? Whatever. And she says, there's coconut wax in here. I said, yeah. She says, well, where are you getting your coconut wax from? She knows that I don't buy it from there. And I said, the States, why? And she says, well, she's like, come here, come in the back. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm super excited to tell you guys all about this. I feel like I've been hiding secrets from some of my best friends, and that's not a good feeling, not at all. Especially when I was trying to balance my channel, I wanted to come on and say, guys, I got a big surprise for you. I know my channel sucks for the last 6 months, but hang tight, I promise. So my supplier brings me in the back and she's like, smell this coconut wax. She says, that's what's coming through. Even though I buy like premium top shelf fragrance oils, way too much coconut wax, the oils were coming through. Oh, I've got some in a box. I'll take you ladies, gents, through my testers, the disasters and everything, and show you. We had the brittle bitty mess, almost like a sandy texture. We had the stinky coconut wax because I had just bumped it up, or so I thought, a little bit. But with coconut wax, a little bit is a little too much. And at the 3-month mark, it was coming through the scent of the wax. So I dialed it way, way, way back down. And literally the amount of coconut wax that's now in the Ella After proprietary blend is so little. The only thing it does is gives it almost like a creamier texture, almost like paraffin. I'll show you guys in another video because it's way over there, but I'll show you how hard this pillar soy is. That was another misconception that I had. I thought all soy is soft. No, much like paraffin, there's different grades of it. Like there's certain waxes that I need a hammer and a hammer and a chisel to break. It's so hard. And then there's other waxes that are pliable. Like you could just mold it into like a perfect little waxy snowman if you want. And those are for container blends. So I think that was probably the most difficult part. As I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, like I researched and researched and researched. And just when I thought that my eyeballs were going to fall out, I'd start reading again. I found all of these really amazing threads. Craft Server. If you guys are ever interested in all things wax and fragrance oils and, have read all the gossip and juicy stuff on Wax Chat and are looking for something else, go on a website called craftserver.com. There are some amazing candeliers and artisans in there that are pretty transparent with their trade secrets, but let's be real. Like, we don't see Colonel Sanders giving out his recipe for KFC. Like, they don't go on there and say, hey, Sarah, here's the shortcut. Save yourself thousands of dollars and just order what I do. Nobody's doing that. So I was looking for shortcuts. I did find a lot of valuable information on there, but I also found some misleading stuff. Kat, now is not the time. This is going on an adventure. We're underneath the stairs where all the warmers are. Have fun. I'm still not brave enough to go under there. So I did find, and I'm, again, not throwing shade to them. Maybe it does work for them. But I found a lot of people who are like, I just use $4.94. Really? $4.94? That's it? I just order a bag of Golden Brand $4.94 and follow the instruction? Yep. You'll get great wax tarts. I didn't. And trust me, I poured it at the recommended temperature. I heated to the recommended temperature. I added the fragrance oils at the recommended temperature. I poured it at the recommended temperature. And then when that didn't work, I went back to the drawing board and tried to fluctuate in between temperatures. And I personally couldn't get $4.94 to work to my satisfaction anyways. And I also found that when I sent out just the $4.94, the reviews that I got back were kind of subpar. Like, it was okay. The performance was all right. It threw for a bit, but not very long, whereas other blends that I was coming up with when I took a mixture of different waxes, then I was getting great reviews back from my testers. Oh my goodness, when are you going to pour this? When do you open the website? Can I order a loaf of this, or you can do a pre-order? And I'm like, whoa, I'm super excited. But what number, what tester was it? Oh, okay. And then from there, I took notes. So yeah, my testers, in a roundabout way, I personally think 2 weeks. I like the 2-week mark. You'll notice that when you receive the wax, it smells fantastic right away, but it smells even better in 2 weeks. There's certain scents, the day I pour them, just forget melting anything else here at the Dollhouse, because the whole house is permeated by it. Not that I'm complaining, it smells fantastic, but makes it really difficult for my half-empty melting basket at the end of the month. There's certain scents where they're barely even detectable the day that I pour them, but that 2-week mark is like, whoa, you can 100% tell the difference. I personally find, whether it's the soy or natural or renewable resource wax tarts that I purchase for other vendors or even my own, I think of natural wax kind of like a fine wine. I personally feel like it gets better with time. Again, throwing out everything I knew about wax until I started doing this, or what I thought I knew about wax, was that, okay, I'll order a little bit of soy, but I won't order a ton of it because it goes bad at the 1-year mark. I'm pretty sure I have said that on my channel several times. I must have, because somewhere I had heard this information and just believed it to be true. Can't really say that I ever measured any of my soy wax for Magina and said, okay, what day did I buy this? And is it bad on this day? This stuff is well over a year old, and it throws better now than it did when I first received it. So again, it has been a huge eye-opener that everything I thought I knew about wax, I'm like, damn, no. Also, now when I'm in wax chat groups and they're like, okay, so how long does it take rose girls to cure? I can tell you 150% that it's not done by vendor. You could take a really rough guesstimate and say, okay, I love rose girls, but I love it better at the 6-month mark, or I love it better at the 8-month mark. But it has nothing to do with the vendor, and really nothing to even do with her proprietary blend. It's the oils themselves. I'm telling you, like tea and cakes. That is one that I can pour it right away, melt it right away. It smells fantastic right away and throws like a beast. There's other things that are a tad bit on the lighter side, like I find salty sea air. That one smells fantastic when you pour it, but as it hardens, it really needs time to bloom and mature in that wax, and then I can smell it. It's my personal opinions about cure time with various vendors and this, that, the other thing has changed immensely since I started doing this. Awesome. That's fantastic. You know, I don't have enough Swan Creek in my life. You know, what funny thing is, my mom was here the other day, like, because this house, I think you guys, well, my long-term waxies will have probably seen the house, or you have a rough idea about how teeny tiny this place is. It's a dollhouse for a reason. It's literally me and my little baby dolls in it, miniature, teeny tiny. I can afford it on my own after my divorce house. Yeah, my mom had to come over and she's like, what the hell, Sarah? You need studio space. This is getting crazy. I've also been doing local events. We have tons of county fairs out here. I've been doing events through friends of mine, so on and so forth in the city, trying to kind of just get my name and my brand out there as much as I would like to just operate on the e-commerce, because you guys know me, I'm a hermit and I'm like the most antisocial person on the planet. I don't want to be out doing live events, but it's good for a local business to drum up a little bit of a reputation, get your name out there or whatever. So I have been pouring for months and selling locally for like 2 or 3 months. I think 3 months ago was my very first public event. So I've run out of space real quick. And now I have several local stores who want to bring my products into their stores. And that's still something that I'm on the fence with. Like, I have all of this footage that I filmed before, but I think if you guys like the content and you like learning about the struggles or the decision making or the this, that, the other thing that goes behind this, I'll continue to do it, because I mean, that's something that I never even considered. Am I going to do wholesale pricing? Do I want it in other stores, or do I want it to just be exclusive to me and my own little thing? You know, there's a lot of decisions to be made, but I mean, my girl Danielle said to me the other night, oh, I can't remember how she said it, but basically, like, Sarah, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, just baby steps. You're doing great. Just, go with the flow, and not everything has to be decided today. So that's kind of reassuring to hear, because I'm a tad bit of a worrywart and a perfectionist. That's why I didn't sleep last night, because this is my very first, like, from the first to what was Monday? And it was the 7th? I can't remember, but the first 7 days of orders went out over the last 2 days. And I was just like, oh my goodness, it's happening. I don't know why I'm so nervous. It has been happening for a while now. The product has been well received by my testers. It's been well received by my local customer base, to the point where stores want to put it in. So what the heck am I so nervous about? Maybe that's excitement. I don't know. We'll see. But it's cool. I had so much fun wrapping everybody's orders last night. I don't know about you guys. Comment in the comment section. I love it when a vendor does it up like it's a present. Do you know what I mean? I love it when I open it and it's beautifully wrapped. And even though you paid for it, it still feels like a gift to yourself because it's so beautifully wrapped. And Halloween's my favorite season. So I went all out. I'm super excited too, girl. Super excited. And I stuffed it. Are you guys on my Facebook business page? That's also something that I wanted to just kind of touch base with on my live, is if you guys have found me on Facebook, you're probably like, what the heck? Does this girl do like a jack of all trades thing? Yes, I do. So you'll find my woodworking, my signs, my wreaths, everything that I've started to make with my mom. Sweet! On Insta. I need to get down with Instagram. I used to be on Instagram all the time. I don't know what happened. I just became a hermit, and I'm not on social media anymore. Tatum is running the Instagram page. She's much better at that stuff than I am. And we have a meeting this weekend where I'm going to give her a whole boatload of content, as well as what's to come in the Christmas scent selection, which is by no means going to be huge, obviously, because I'm just starting. But I'm super excited about the blends that I came up with. It was tricky for me. The whole thing has kind of been tricky because I've really had to realize that I'm not going to love every single one of the blends, because what am I going to do? I don't like fruit scents. What am I just going to be like, you come shop at Ella after? We don't do fruit because I don't like it. I have to learn how to pour for all different scent tastes and all different scent preferences, right? So Christmas was a hard one for me. I'm like, I don't want to smell trees or berries or none of that. Bah humbug is actually named one of the scents. So I was like, well, that's perfect. I like that one. So yeah, it's really good. It's good. It's been a good, exciting, that's for sure. And I'm so thankful. Like, I did a little shout out to the orders that went out this morning of the different places. That's another thing that I want to do. I need to put it on my list on my dang list of things to pick up next time I'm at Staples, including printer paper. To the last 8 orders that went out, you guys are getting your invoices on this really like foofy floral scrapbooking paper because I wanted them out this morning and I was like, I don't have time to go to Staples. I want them on that truck today. So if you're like, where'd this girl get the granny paper from? My old scrapbooking collection. It came in handy at like 3:30 this morning. So that's not going to be standard. It's tacky as all hell, but it's cute. Kind of. But what I want to do is I want to make a map. Like, I don't know where I'll put it. We're running out of room real quick. But I want to make a map and put little pins of all the different places because it's fascinating. And I can only attribute my YouTube channel for that there's all of these orders. And I guess the same went for when I was selling Scentsy. Like, how would I have ever met Cindy and Marissa in Regina, Saskatchewan? Like, they're in the middle of the prairies and I'm in the armpit of Canada. Like, there's no way I would have met them without this channel. There's no way I would have, Jacksonville, Florida, Pennsylvania, all of these cool places, Texas, like just crazy cool. I need a map with little pinpoints on there just to see all of these cool places. And that absolutely 150 million% is attributed to this YouTube channel because it's really extended my reach and my scope and brought me all of you guys, right? So that's very, very, very cool. I know it's not a platform for everybody, but we can't please them all. And I'm quite happy with the little crowd we have here. So that works for me. So does anybody else have any other questions? About diary relics or anything like that, or any requests? Like, what do you guys want to see in diary relics that maybe I don't already have on the list? I do a lot of fragrance oil hauls to show you the different companies, the different variations of scents. One of the biggest surprises to me was finding scents that I recognize from vendors and getting super, super, super excited. Like, there's times, I think Sashism said it in one video, like, I wish people would just say, if this is a type, say what type it is, right? Because that would help you order it. If you're familiar with your oils, if you know what clothespins smells like, just call it clothespins. Don't call it Amanda's summer linen. Just say it's clothespins because I've got a box of clothespin wax right here. I don't need it from a different vendor. Do you know what I mean? So there was a lot of surprises where I would find oils where perhaps it was my own ignorance or my own preconceived notion. Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful blend. Oh my goodness, I hope to make blends like that one day. Like, it's so pretty. And then I order it. It's just an oil from Rustic Essentials. And I got this whole lady boner over nothing. Do you know what I mean? You don't think you can? What do you mean you don't think you can? It's absolutely possible. I did it out of this teeny tiny little house. It just takes time. The Nuance makes certain waxes labeled as vegan friendly. So vegan friendly are people who use luxury. I'm not feeling very vegan friendly today. Can you go away? He's such a big sucky boy. People who use fragrance oil suppliers who don't test on animals. That would be the nuance between vegan or cruelty free. Is the fragrance oil companies, certain ones, not all of them, still use chemicals that are tested on animals, specifically on their skin and in their eyes, which I'm not a fan of at all. So that was important to me, using cruelty-free suppliers and phthalate-free, which that's probably what took me so long is if you're second guessing, you want to do this yourself, but you don't think you can, you absolutely can. Because I took two of the hardest things to do: make a wax without using petroleum, which, let's face it, petroleum throws like a beast. It's made some of the best candles and scented candles on the market since the 1800s. But I picked a vegetable-based product, and then I wanted to only use phthalate-free oils or DEP-free oils. So that automatically drops your list of scent availabilities, as well as they're not as strong. Or so I thought, but with research and time and commitment and thousands upon thousands of dollars in 1 ounce useless testers, I found fantastic oils that hit all of my targets. Do I have a huge scent list yet? No, but I think it will take, I mean, I'm sure all of these other vendors, it took them a couple years to work up to those numbers. You know, I just, for instance, Satin Susie Scents. If you guys have ever ordered from that vendor, oh my goodness, she has tons and tons and tons of different oils, but I have no idea how long she's been in business. She's probably been adding those to her collection as she tests for a very long time. So I hope to have a bomb kick-ass list like that one day. That is the end goal, but they'll have to be DEP free and vegan friendly, not tested on animals for sure. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up here. How is shipping going for you being international? Shipping, that's a great question. Because I have a business background, I've run other people's businesses very successfully. I know the importance of shipping, especially for small business owners. I've told people this before. Your shipping strategies could make or break a company. It really can. People in the online world, they want free shipping. Absolutely. And free shipping is definitely a way to go. Free shipping, I don't know. It works in certain businesses. It's very difficult to provide if you sell heavy products, because that's a lot of freight weight that you'd have to account for. I just decided to do flat rate shipping. What I did was I got some prices. I mapped it out. I used 2 different addresses. So I picked an address within Canada, Port Coquitlam, which is a borough in Vancouver. I chose that just at random. My sister-in-law lives there. And then I chose Amber's address. She lives in Stockton, California. And it costs $1 more to ship to, on average, same size box, same weight, costs $1 more to ship to Stockton, California. So I was like, wow, Canada Post is ridiculous. I've only ever ordered from one Canadian vendor here because I was like, damn, like I only want to order $25, $30 worth of wax, and her shipping rate was like $20. And I was like, I can't get down with that. That's crazy. And it's not that vendor's fault. It's that Canada Post makes it so dang impossible. That was also one of the reasons why I decided to pay for a premium Shopify. Well, I don't have the top tier Shopify account. I have the middle Shopify account. So I pay what some vendors would think is a crazy amount a month just for a website, but I don't think so. There was talks between my business advisor and I at one point. He's like, well, you could just write your own website. Mike, you guys will see him in a video eventually. He's like, he's such a sweetie. He's a super nerd, super nerd. And I'm like, yeah, Mike, I'll get right on that. Like, while I'm pouring wax and doing this and taking care of a toddler and running my other business, I'm just going to learn how to write code. Like, I'm not you. I can't write a website. So for the amount I pay for my Shopify website, I get Shopify Guru, That's literally what they call themselves. And they have been my lifesavers over the last 3 weeks. I get them round the clock, 24 hours a day. Any problems with the website, anything, they're right on the phone and they're fixing it for me. I bought a Google domain, which is like, I don't know, $17 a year. With the mid-tier Shopify account, I qualify for shipping discounts, which is great. And that really helped me. We'll have to see how it goes. Like, perhaps that's what I could do, is like measure out my expenditures. I'm going to have to eventually, but perhaps I'll share that with you, because right now I'm incurring the difference in the shipping. So I offer flat rate shipping. Like, say, for instance, when you guys place your orders, it's the small flat rate to go to the US is $13.50 Canadian. So what is that, $10 and something? Once you do the conversion, right? Because we're sitting at 33% or 32% today when I checked of the exchange rate, right? So I tried to kind of sort of model it after the prices that you guys are used to paying for, to have United States Postal Service deliver your wax. I even modeled the boxes the same size, just to try and keep it the same. So on average last night, while I was shipping from Ontario to the States, you guys were paying $13.50 Canadian flat rate. And I think the most expensive label was 18 something. So you guys pay the flat rate and then I pay the difference to make shipping affordable for my customers. And it doesn't seem like much, but like, for instance, I think the shipment, and again, small box, average size weight, that went to Medicine Hat in Alberta, which is in my own country, was the most expensive box that I sent out this morning. So there's pros and cons to flat rate shipping, but one of the other cool features of the Shopify account is it shows me where people are abandoning the page. So I get to see all the traffic that comes in. I don't necessarily get to see who's abandoning carts. Don't worry. I'll be like, girl, come back here. Finish your order. No, but I get to see where customers who aren't buying are bailing out. And 48% bail out when it comes to shipping. Even though I'm paying for a portion of the shipping, it doesn't matter. It's just that fast food trend, or that automatic Old Navy gives free shipping. So why can't she give free shipping? Woman, I wish I was Old Navy. I could afford to give everybody free shipping, because I absolutely would. Absolutely. If I could afford it, I would absolutely offer it. But at this rate, I can't. Also, a lot of things to think about when you think about shipping. Do you guys think that shipping is ever really free? No, that the price of the shipping is incorporated into the influx in the product, right? So they're like, okay, we're going to mark up these jeans by 18% and say it's free shipping. Dude, you should have just paid the sale price for the jeans and paid your shipping, and it's the same price. Do you know what I'm saying? Recently, like I'm talking 3 days ago, I realized one of my suppliers for my heaviest product, my Pillar Soy, did that. All of a sudden, I noticed that they're offering free shipping on orders over $50. I'm like, that can't be. I'm ordering cases upon cases of wax from them. Why would they give me free shipping when I'm ordering hundreds of dollars at a time and in bulk, like heavy, hundreds of pounds? I realized each case went up $35. So the last time I paid them to ship a bulk order, it was $86 in freight, which sounds like a lot, but it's not when you're talking hundreds of pounds. $86 freight charge. But when they added $35 to a case, I'm like, how do I, whoa. now's the time where I call in my business advisor and go, what now, brown cow? Like, how do I make up for that? You know? But I'm not willing to switch suppliers because I've spent 22 months finding a wax that really works. Oh, thank you, girl. I know you didn't bail out. Your order went out today as well. I'm super excited for you to receive that. It's just, yeah, it is a necessary evil in nowadays. I mean, it saves us from going to the mall, so that costs stuff too, and it saves me from awkward social interactions. So I'm all for shipping. I'll pay it. I don't care. Did I miss any questions? Haven't ordered anything through the mail. Have no idea what to expect. I can't wait. I buy a lot of Scentsy, and I'm lucky if it's in a bag or box. Genevieve, what do you mean? Do you order Scentsy online? In a bag or a box? Or are you talking about through a consultant near you? Yeah, that was probably one of my hardest things, was my Scentsy breakup. But that happened like a year ago. I met some really cool people doing Scentsy. I was never down for drinking the purple punch. That was never my jam. I met the purple people eaters, like the live ones who want you to go and drink wine at their house and join the sisterhood and I don't know, put on the Nikes and whatever. And I wasn't into that part of it. But I did meet a lot of cool people. I have some of the best, most loyal, amazing customers from, again, all four corners of our continent who I would have never met if it wasn't for this channel. And that too, whether it be my waxies or my previous customers who've placed orders with me, even still, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. A consultant, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's much like anything else. There's good apples and there's bad apples in every bunch, but I was lucky to meet a lot of really good apples, whether it be my customers, my team, other teams. Like I didn't get the mentorship that I thought I was going to get in my team, but I found it somewhere else in somebody else's team, and they're like, yeah, come on over. And it's the whole MLM scheme. Do you know what I mean? Like, you would think that you'd be helpful to your downline so they can promote, so you can promote whatever. And it was really nice that John Sparks, who's also a YouTuber, took me under his wing, and he had nothing to gain from that by coaching me and helping me build my team and giving me advice. He had nothing to gain from that. He wasn't making money off my sales or my recruiting or anything like that. Those are the gems, So that part, I love my Scentsy buddies and my Scentsy Fam Jam, the ones that I made on my own, and those contacts and connections, and no regrets, because it brought me here. I started making candles when I was pregnant with Grace, just as something to do, something for fun, and I loved it. You asked my family about some of the deadly candles when I first started out. It's a bloody miracle I didn't burn anybody's house down with the first couple batches, but I eventually figured it out, and I used to love it. But much like anything else, you're a new mom and you get busy and you're like, oh, screw my hobbies. That goes down the toilet, but I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. I joined Scentsy shortly after I had Ella, which, I mean, I've always been into home fragrance, but it brought me to this channel, which introduced me to vendor wax, which has got me, it was all stepping stones are part of the journey. So I have absolutely no regrets. Oh, thank you. Yes, that's what I do want to nail down. I'm thinking November 1st will be the next restock for sure. Absolutely. If I happen to decide to change it, it will be sooner. But I feel pretty comfortable in the 7 to 10 day turnaround time right now. I was in wax chat. I always get lost in that group. You know, it never fails. I'm like, tonight I'm going to go to bed early. And then I lay down in bed and get on wax chat. And before you know it, I'm in a rabbit hole and I'm like, it's 3:30. What the heck just happened? But I was reading about some of these vendors who have like 8-10 week turnarounds, vendors who aren't answering messages and taking people's money. And I'm just like, dude, where is your mask? And I'm not here shading anybody. I'm not mentioning any names or trashing any other vendors, but I could never operate on that kind of stress level. I personally, it's a moral thing for me. I could not collect money and sit on it for 10 weeks and be like, just put my phone on ignore while I spend your money. That's just not how I'm going to operate, not how I'm going to roll. So far, I feel like with the little help that I have, making sure everything's perfect and pretty and beautiful before it leaves, I feel comfortable in that 7 to 10 day turnaround time. And if we can get it open sooner than November 1st or a restock, it will always be open. But if we can get a restock in before November 1st, I'll definitely announce it on the channel. Absolutely, my love. I will definitely get Tano to do that. Yes, I'm super excited. Awesome! I'm super happy to hear that it was easy. Yes, I like that. You get a little bit of playroom with Shopify. You get to pick templates. You can pay like money to get nicer templates or more fancy templates. But I personally, for right now, just wanted it to be super simple, clean lines, nothing confusing. Because keep in mind, like, I know there's a few good Canadian vendors up here, but honestly, if you talk about wax to Canadians, they're like, what? Honestly, they just don't know. They don't know. They don't get it. They've heard of Scentsy, but that's about it. I say super tarts to a Canadian, they're like, or Rose Girls or any of that. Like, there's just not a huge following for it. And I always find it entertaining. It's like almost like my first sniffs of my very first indie vendor D-stash that I ever received. I thought, why are these people mixing all these crazy scents together? That sounds like it's going to smell disgusting. But it was so cool. I sat with my stylist the other night. You could never tell. We were having a girls' night, not a work night. But she was sitting there smelling through a huge box of testers that I brought her. And she's like, this is insane. She'd never, ever, ever heard of something like this in her life. And she's like, this is so cool. Are you like the only one in Canada that does this? I'm like, no, believe it or not, there are other people that do this. You just would never know. So hopefully that's why I started with the imposters and the solo scents, because I'm trying to get Canadians in on the indie vendor train. Trying slowly. It's going to be very slow. Yes, absolutely. I don't know. Again, that the layout could change a little bit. I put the scent description in the body of the item, and then the drop-down menu should show the scent description as well. I poured one the other day and absolutely died. I'm going to have to, sorry for clicking, I'm going to have to jump on Facebook. Where is this scent description? Oh, talk about sexy man scent. Where are we? It's a mix of fruits sandalwood. What else was in there? It's got pear, pineapple, sandalwood, and vetiver. Oh, talk about sexy man. And my house smelled like sexy man for a day and a half. I was like, yes, I need to definitely include that one in the next restock. It won't be very Christmassy, but it's going to be in the Dollhouse favorites section of the website, and I named it Downtown Love. Oh, it's deadly sexy. And I think, I know, Teresa, you got a sample of that one for sure. For sure. I think most people. And that's what I'm trying to do too. Right now, I'm trying to look at people's orders and just, I mean, you can look at them and get a general preference of what their scent tastes are going to be like. So I throw in testers that I think you guys will like, that are coming up in the next restock. I have tons of laundry linen scents, and I mean tons. We have clothespins, we have white clouds, we have Gain, we have apple mango tango. These ones are all coming up. I think white clouds is on just the single scent right now. It's not. Do I have a white clouds blend on there? I don't think there's currently a white clouds blend. Okay, Downtown Love is a juicy melody of pineapple, pear, and citrus top notes, followed by earthy base notes of sandalwood, sage, and sexy vetiver. That's what I was missing with sage. Oh, it is deadly. Absolutely deadly. Not very Christmassy, mind you, but we can include it in the next restock for sure. Yeah, so I'm going to have lots and lots and lots of laundry blends. There's another just random oil that I've never heard before or heard of before. I've never seen it. I've done so much digging trying to find other vendors who use it or whose scent descriptions might be the same. But I just ordered that and I'm going to pick it up from my supplier. So I get all excited thinking, oh my goodness, did I find a gem? And I'll be so pissed off if I just ordered a large quantity of another Gain blend with a fancy damn name. There's some very interesting suppliers out there. Wait till you guys see like the worst supplier haul ever. I might as well have just pissed money right out the window. But again, goes back to, you know, there's good apples and there's bad apples in every bunch. But yeah, it's definitely been a learning experience, that's for sure. It has never been a dull moment. But yeah, it's very, very good. I just want to just quickly scroll back and make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions. Am I missing anything? No, I don't miss any questions so far. Does anybody else want to know anything else? Ask away. I mean, you guys can always ask away at other times too, in the comment section of the Diary Relics. What else? Oh. What was I going to say? It was going to slip my mind, and I swear the minute I turn this thing off, I'm going to remember it. Damn. But yeah, that's it. Also, advent calendars. Oh my goodness, girl. You know what? I was so ambitious. So ambitious. And if it hadn't have taken so long, what I did with my business advisor is I sat down and made a 2-year plan. So it's beautiful where I live. Yeah, it's got its perks. Ontario is kind of like the armpit of Canada. Have you ever been to Canada? You should definitely come and visit. But if you do, don't come here to Ontario. go to either one of the coasts, either the West Coast or the East Coast. They're both equally beautiful. I've spent more time on the West Coast than the East Coast, but I absolutely love it there. I used to work right in the Canadian Rockies, and it was to die for. Absolutely to die for. If I could afford like this exact same size house in the Rockies, I would move in a heartbeat. There's something so absolutely healing about being in the mountains. So you've been to Niagara Falls? That's not far from here. That's not far from here. That's like the token place. That's the only place to go in Ontario, unless you have like cottage property in the Muskokas. But anytime our family comes here from like overseas or whatever, they're like, oh, your cousin so-and-so is coming for her first time. We should take her to Niagara Falls. Oh, great. The casino and a big rock with water. Awesome. Oh, that's also where my parents spent their honeymoon. So what I had done was I took, with my business consultant, I made a 2-year plan. So I said to my business consultant, and again, I'm not naming any names, but I said to him, it's very important to me to do this in a way where my website won't sit idle. Not naming any vendors, but when I'm in the mood to spend money, I don't want to have to research. I don't want to have to wait. I don't want to have to go through and be like, oh, damn, I need to write this on my calendar, because I'll forget. We all know that. Sarah will forget. And I'm like, oh, man, I missed it. So I said to Mike, my business consultant, I don't want my website to be stagnant. I don't want somebody to be in the mood to shop and be like, oh, I like Ella After, but it's closed right now. Or she doesn't have any stock. The website is empty. You know, I said to Mike, it's really important. How do I make sure that there's always something? It might not be exactly what customers are looking for, but I never want you to go to my website and it say out of stock, completely out of stock, completely out of stock. Oh, we're closed. We'll email you when we get some more stuff in. That's not how this cat is going to operate. I can't handle it. This girl's a hustler. I'm like, nah, if I'm going to do this, we need to move. So he said, well, you need to sit down and make a 2-year schedule. I'm like, 2 years? What? And he said, plan. What are you going to market? What are you going to offer your customers? Something new, something different every month, as well as bringing a rotation of their favorites and the things that they love, and do it over a 2-year span. Fill your calendar. So that's what I did. But at the same time, I'm researching and doing my proprietary blend and testing oils. And like, I'll show you if I can move. This is going to be really awkward. Like, that whole shelf, like the lower one right here, is 1/4 of the large quantity oils that I have right now. So he says, do your research and make a plan. And then keep testing your oils. And when you have enough inventory or wherever, figure out where your comfort zone is, Sarah. And when you're ready to launch and know that you have these 3 months planned, plus you're already working on the next 3 months, keep that same momentum. He says, you're going to be fine, but plan it out. Advent calendars, girl, to get back to your question, was like something that I always wanted to do. I'm like, oh. I would never make money off Advent calendars though. I know it, because I'm a spendaholic, and I'm like, ooh, if I can make you something for Christmas, it's gonna sing, it's gonna have lights, it's gonna be fantastic, it's gonna be sugary, it's gonna be sweet. And my business advisor's looking at me like, and how are you gonna make profit off that? I'm like, oh yeah, I probably won't. But I could do so much with an Advent calendar. That would be so exciting. He's like, Sarah, this is supposed to be a business. Okay, damn, you're taking the wind out of my sails, Mike. You're no fun. But an Advent calendar is definitely on the list. It just won't be for this Christmas, because unfortunately, when I was ready to launch, when I felt comfortable, like I had that little safety net, and I already have what's going on the website for the next restock made, if not being poured now, and I'm not opening it until November 1st. Everything has to be a very, how would you say, like a regimental plan for me to be able to do this and feel comfortable doing it. That way I don't get stagnant. That's what I don't want that. I don't want that for my customers. It's not for me. Not to say that that's the wrong way for other people to do it. You gotta move at your own pace and do what you're comfortable with. But I will never be comfortable sitting on anybody's money for longer than 7 to 10 days if it's an RTS, and I will never sit on somebody's pre-order money. I don't even know that I will do pre-orders, but if it ever comes to that, there will have to be a very strict turnaround time for me. I'm just like a well-oiled machine. I need to know what we're doing, where we're going, who we're doing. You know what I mean? So advent calendars, unfortunately, like I think had I launched in the spring, had I had that safety net and felt like, okay, I can do this. I feel like we're ready and we could go balls to the walls now, I may have been in a position to do advent calendars this year. But it's a huge undertaking. Like even if you just do like the most simplistic advent calendar and only open it to, I don't know, say 50 people my first year, I think it would take the better part of 2 weeks in the studio just doing advent calendars. So that's a big block of time that you would have to take out of your regular RTS or your regular pre-order schedule or whatever. I think it will be a huge feat, but I will definitely be in a more comfortable position and feel really good about doing it next year for sure. And that's the thing too, is like, I have all of these great ideas and I'm like, okay, I want to do this. I want to do this. I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. And part of me wants to do it all at once. But that's also, I have to keep reminding myself to pace myself and strategize and, just put it in there. And when the time comes, even though I'm super excited about it right now, if it's a great idea, I will love it still in 6 months from now by the time I'm ready to roll it out, if that makes sense. Danielle, hey girl, that's okay. You can watch the playback. I was telling them earlier about how you told me to chill and just, it's okay, deep breath, take it day by day. Yes, exactly. Take it step by step. Absolutely. So it's exciting. It's very exciting. And now I feel like this is the exciting part. The tricky part is definitely behind me and definitely over. It was fun. It was definitely a learning experience. That's for dang sure. But yeah, we'll see how it goes now. I think for a lot of it, I kept saying to myself, oh, I can't wait till the testing period is over. But I've now realized the testing period is never over because I'm constantly going to be testing new oils, new blends. But the most pissy part of it was testing the wax for sure. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And I think even, I don't know. I think there's always room for improvement, or maybe that's just the perfectionist in me. Right now, I know it works. Is it the best? I don't know. Could it be better, even better? Probably. So I think I'll constantly be trying to test or improve things, or that's what's going to make it challenging and kind of stoke my passion or my fire, or testing new oils. Like this new laundry oil that I've got coming in, mark my words, I will film that haul. And if it's another version of Gain, I'm going to be so pissed off. I'm looking for unique laundry oils. Like, not to say that there's nothing wrong with Gain. I have a good Gain. I do. But again, it goes back to what Sashism says, if a vendor's pouring this clothespins, just say it's clothespins. Don't call it Amanda's summer laundry day, I feel the same bloody way about fragrance oil suppliers. If it's just Gain, just call it Gain. No fancy name. What's the worst oil I tried? It's not an oil, it's a supplier. Every single one. This like watered down rat piss. And it came in a box that looked like she got it out of her grungeon basement. Like $200-300 order. And it was just garbage. I'm pretty sure she probably orders from like Crafter's Choice and then dilutes it with dog piss and rubbing alcohol. Like, I'm so sorry for being blatant about it, but it was everything she sold me. And it wasn't, you guys will see it. I filmed it and I'm really, really, really impressed in the video. My blood was boiling. She didn't even like wrap the oils so they were safe. Let me pull one out actually. It's called New York Scents. She doesn't even wrap. It came in literally, think of the box where your brother who played hockey 20 years ago's hockey jock and grungy knee pads went to die in your mother's basement. You got me? Picture that box. Throw 20 of these loose and then put some old newspaper on top. And she calls herself a supplier. Oh, I was so mad. So mad. All of it. Garbage. I was so mad. Especially when the financial end of this, I can't speak for every vendor, but for the way that I did it, it has been a tremendous financial obligation for me because I didn't have any loans, no nothing. I've funded the testing, 2 years of testing, all of my current inventory. It's all paid for by me in cash. So when I'm already on a budget trying to build a business with very little startup, something like this was enough to just boil my blood. I was so furious. No, this is definitely cat piss in a bottle. No, this is definitely not the sexy man scent you want. So the only reason why I'm keeping these is because I want to see what they smell like. I know what they smelled like the day I hauled them, but I want to see what they smell like at the 1 year mark. Because fragrance oils do change over time. I label all of them. I date them all. And then once they reach their 1 year mark, I throw them out, which is a waste too. So that sucks. But now that I have a website and it's running and it's, you know, hopefully no more beautiful fragrance oils will go to waste or in the trash or whatever. So it should be good. Did I miss any questions? So yeah, it wasn't a worst oil. It was the worst supplier. But with that being said, I have found some phenomenal suppliers. Not all fragrance oils are made for soy wax either. So that's been another costly part because so you guys can check this out for yourself. If you guys are ever interested, go on fragrance oil suppliers websites. You know, certain suppliers will rank it as like excellent in both soy and paraffin, good in soy. Well, I just skip by that. Like if it only says good, I skip by it because if that's the supplier themselves telling you it's not excellent in soy, it's just good. Well, I don't have time for that. I'm not ordering that. I'm not wasting my money on that. Next. So I'm literally skipping down, looking, is it tested and excellent in soy? Is it phthalate free? Is it vegan or cruelty free? You know, it's really, really, really been time consuming. Plus, because scent is subjective, what that company's idea of excellent in soy isn't always my ideals of excellent in soy, if that makes sense. Maple candy. Yes. Yes, you got maple candy. They're little maple leaves. My Canadian customers are going to be like, Sarah's sending us trick-or-treat stuff. Great. But I sent my American customers Canadian candy, Canadian chocolates. I love when vendors do that. Come on now. If a vendor sends you an order and it's wrapped like a present and it's got goodies like treats or a pen or something in it, I'm like, I'm in love. I don't even care what the wax smells like. You're so nice. But seriously, so I thought it would be cool if I put in some Canadian goodies, chocolate bars that they don't sell in the States. Smarties and Rockets are mixed up. You guys call Rockets Smarties, but here in Canada, they're Rockets. And then we have Smarties. Smarties are milk chocolate covered. They're candy milk chocolate. I think there's Smarties, Rockets, an assortment of things. Coffee Crisp, which is delicious coffee chocolate bar, Arrow, maple candy, maple leaf candies, like just little goodies. Also, I put 4 mil bags in orders. That is something that I want to add to the website. Again, in Dire Relics, you guys will see I got some bunk 2 mil bags. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Again, supplier issue. But I sent out a bunch of testers, and some of my testers are coming back and saying, Sarah, like, I melted it at the cure date, just as the instructions said, but it had no scent. And I was like, what? That's weird. What do you mean it had no scent? Well, none of the ones that you sent in the poly bags have any scent left. There were those epic screw ups too. Like I just wanted to call the supplier and say, these aren't polypropylene bags. If they're losing the scent, 3 to 6 weeks after you put the wax in it, you might as well have sold me overpriced Ziploc bags, asshole. So that was a big waste of money and time and effort, but at least we depleted them off the potential list of suppliers for bags. So I went straight to the Uline. At the same time, and again, it's no shade to any vendor in particular, but I was noticing it didn't matter which vendor I had. I was getting bags, like I'd have band bags or chunk bags or whatever from various different vendors, and they were ripping down the sides, like here. And I'm not even talking like because I'm being just brute magoot and ripping them. I would receive some of them with tears in them already. Or I had a couple over the summer from in my summer hauls that the Ziploc bags, like the Ziploc portion of it, would not connect no matter how hard I squished it. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Again, it was no particular vendor. I had it happening with several different vendors. So perhaps it was just a common supplier issue that was happening, but I was like, nah, Baba, I don't have time for this. These are things that took me 22 months to iron out. I don't want to roll out with subpar shit. I don't want to have those disasters, And I know that flukes happen. The company that I order my 2-ounce scent shots from, the oval ones, which will be released at a coming restock. I had a bad batch of those. And I was like, what the hell? Out of like 1,000 of them, the lips on about, the lip that goes around the actual scent shot dish where you close the lid over top, they were all kind of like not burnt off, but just the die cut on them or the machine cut around them, just terrible, piss poor seal. And I'm like, no, I can't get down with this. I don't know. I guess it's perhaps the perfectionist in me that's like, it has to be perfect before I roll it out. I don't want dissatisfied customers because it's a bummer. I don't like having to repackage my wax. I'm like, that's a bitch. When I pay you for wax, I pay you for the bag too. So I don't want to have to repackage it. Some people love that. Some people love repackaging and labeling and stuff like that. I've got time for that. I just want to stick it in my closet and know that it's good. And I want my customers to be able to do that too. So what I decided to do was just double up. Most vendors use 2 mil bags. I ordered 4. I don't care if it's more expensive. I'm like, double the thickness, double the freshness. Let's go, ladies. So I'm going to add those to the website in a future accessories tab at the next restock. So if you guys are looking for replacement bags like 4 mil, you want the super strong ones, I got those. Can soy be made into scoopables? Absolutely. Lots of people make scoopables out of Golden Brand 494. There's actually recipes that you can find that you could do it at home and do your own scoopables. I tried to make a scoopables formula when I very first started pouring wax. I'm like, if I'm going to be testing, let's just do it all at once. But I found I was losing focus. And then I was like, no, because I'm clinically ADHD. Sarah needs to take things in steps. I'm like, perfect one thing, Sarah. Put one thing under your belt and then move on to the next. I know, Night Girl, thanks for hanging out. And thank you for all your love and support. I know a vendor recently just announced that she's launching scoopables and she's been testing her formula for a year because she wants to make sure that it's good shit before she rolls it out. And I love that. I personally cannot sell or in good faith morally take money from somebody for something that I don't believe in myself. So I love that when small business owners are invested in perfecting their blends or making sure that their product, even if it takes them 12 months to make sure it's perfect before they roll it out and accept money. I think that that's the way it should be. All right, honey. Thank you so much. Thank you. I should probably cut this short too now. Well, we're going on an hour and 16 minutes. But we're going to do this again. Let's hang out another night. I have to get Miss Ella Bella to bed. And if you guys have any more questions, you guys can always ask it in the comment section down below. I'm happy to answer it for you. Super excited. Now I get to share this little journey and the milestones and the accomplishments with you guys all here at the Dollhouse. And now look at, I have a whole team of business consultants, guys. You guys can tell me, hey, don't put your products in stores. It'll be fine online. You guys can all be my Jiminy Crickets and give me your feedback. That would be fantastic. I'm going to tell Mike he's been replaced. My YouTube waxes have got me now. Thanks so much. Thank you. But yeah, that's it, guys. I will let you guys get back to your regular routine Friday night, and let's do this again sometime soon. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for all of your love and support. Bye.